What's up, guys? Another episode of the 3012 Minutes podcast. I believe this is episode 52. Got another three good topics we're going to talk about. First topic might get a little bit heated, but it's all in the fun and games. I know Byron and Brock are both going to come with their A game on this, and they've been talking about it a lot. Without further ado, we'll get into it. Pretty much last episode sparked the debate between who we'd rather have between Manu and Blake Griffin. And that's what we're going to start today off with. So, Brock, you go first.
All right. So, give y'all a backstory, because obviously they both had stellar careers in general, but outside of professional before we get to that point. Y'all can hear me good?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So, in high school, I'll make this quick, even though it's a lot. Blake Griffin, 4-time state champion. Every year in high school, he won the state championship. Started every year. Freshman year was 29-0. Sophomore year, he was an all-state player. They went 24-2, again, state champion. Junior year, he committed to Oklahoma, was an all-state player, playoff MVP, averaged 22 points, 13 rebounds, 5 assists, and they went 27-1. Senior year is where he was ranked 5-star prospect. He ended up being a Jordan Brand All-American, McDonald's All-American, 5-star prospect. His team ended up 26-3. That year, he averaged 27 points, 15 rebounds, 5 assists, and 3 blocks. And again, a state championship. Overall, in high school, the man ended up going 106-6, has a high school career comparable to LeBron James, Oklahoma Player of the Year. I mean, every accolade that you can get on a high school player's resume, he was there. And then on the college level, we can just start it off with, he was named the College Player of the Year as a sophomore, led the NCAA in rebounds as a freshman, averaged 15-9, led Oklahoma to 23-12, Big 12 all-rookie team and first team, 6-time Player of the Week, which is a Big 12 record. As a sophomore, averaged 22 points, 14 rebounds, 2.3 assists, led the nation in rebounding. I know if I already said that, led Big 12 in scoring and rebounding. And Oklahoma was 27-5 and swept every College Player of the Year award. There was more I could have said. I just understand you got to get to it. I mean, man was dominant on every level, was projected to be a lottery pick as a freshman, came back, was even more dominant, and there's not much else to say.
I mean, yeah, and all that, I hear, wonderful player, great stats, filled up the sheets, box office. Blake Griffin is a box office player. I mean, besides the state championship, when it mattered against your peers, it didn't seem like he won that national championship. Manu Ginobili started his career as a professional in the EuroLeague, playing for a couple different teams. Within those 2 to 3 years of those EuroLeague teams that he played for, playing with grown men, by the way, not college players. He averaged he won 2 MVPs in this league. Let me get to the actual stats over here. Two European MVP, Italian MVP leagues, 2 scoring titles in this league as well, while winning their championships amongst grown men at his very young age. And then he got drafted by a wonderful team in the Spurs. And then we could just go from there, and then we can start talking about both of the NBA stats together.
So I want to highlight real quick before we move on to that. So you're emphasizing that he's playing against grown men. Would you say that players in the Italian league are better than D1 players in America?
I haven't seen them play against each other. I mean, they have games like that. They have games like that, and it's pretty close sometimes, or depending on whoever they're playing, it could be a dominant. Like, it's all about the level of who they're playing.
Okay, now if you're saying the talent level is close, which I disagree with, I think the D1 players are better. If you're saying that the talent level is close, Blake was NCAA Player of the Year as a sophomore. Oh, he was the top of the talent pool, the very top. Can't get no more.
Yeah.
As a freshman, again, Big 12 first team. He was the guy. So if it's similar talent levels, then I mean he was better outside of the league before we even get to that portion. His
but if
stats,
he was the guy, he didn't get his team to where that other guy got his team to as a championship.
Right. He was playing in a weaker league. And in high school, he won 4 straight state championships. He was playing against better competition with more teams. The NCAA, I'm not sure how many teams are now. I know it's a lot more than football. And football is 132, but I know D1, it has to be.
Oh, no, it's crazy.
It got to be some crazy number in the hundreds. So he made it to the round of 32 or whatever. I think they went in as the number 2 seed. I'm not sure off the top of my head how far they got. You're right. He didn't win the championship in college. But, he was recognized as College Player of the Year. And, Manu did his thing. He definitely did his thing.
Talent.
But, I mean, Italian league, I thought you were going to say something like, at least the first level of the Euro League. I'm not sure where the dudes that Manu was playing, I'm not sure if any of them dudes ever made it.
Well, yeah, after he went to those 2 and won his third year before he came to the league, he was averaging literally 23 point. No, what was it here? No, those are his NBA stats.
Manu, construction workers.
Nah, Brian. Nah, yeah, he was averaging 23 points, 23 and 4 assists.
Modest numbers in a weak league.
My question,
all the way to the
my question with that is, go ahead, Byron. I'll let you finish.
No, go ahead. No, that's it.
With Blake Griffin's talent, you don't think if Blake Griffin would have played in that Italian league, he would have been doing more damage than Manu?
It's not the fact that he doesn't. He scores. He's gonna score. He's gonna get his points. Does he elevate his team to win?
Yeah.
Ever? Has he ever proved it? Besides high school.
We're talking about outside of the NBA. In Oklahoma, he led them to the tournament, and they finished number 1 in their conference.
But did he win the tournament? As his talent?
He didn't win a Big 12 tournament.
Did he elevate his team that he was on to make them better? Obviously, you're gonna get your numbers as a great talent that you are. But like LeBron, he elevated those guys. Did any of those high school players that he made it with make it to the league?
But that's kind of different.
But but he elevated them to win states over and over and over.
So he's elevating the team.
But LeBron also,
yes, he elevated those from high school. But did he do it in college?
LeBron's going to elevate any team and any players with any team.
True. I understand that, but I was just saying, he's going to score. Blake's going to score his point.
But
it's hard for Blake Griffin too, though, because Blake Griffin he brung the Clippers back to relevancy. Chris Paul came over. I don't think he had a season with a really healthy Chris Paul.
The Clippers never been to the conference final.
But before we get there, because
he's only been one time in his
in college, because you brought up the elevated team. Yes, as a freshman, they went 23-12. As a sophomore, and they were sorry before he got there. Like his freshman year as a new coach, 23-12. The very next year, 27-5, and ranked number 2 in the NCAA tournament. He went from being the Big 12 first team player to the NCAA number 1 player. So he definitely elevated himself and his team along the way. He was the best player in college basketball as a sophomore and would have been a lottery pick as a freshman. So yes, he did elevate not just high school, but his college teams. Manu, he's leading them to a championship. I don't know who he played for. I'm not sure if any of us would know the name of the team if you named it, but
I got you. Hold on. But keep going. I got you. I'm gonna name the team.
Sabaros.
Nah, it's the Riddell Ves Rudo Calabria.
Yeah, exactly. That's probably who Thanasis played for. He probably won MVP in that league.
And
But
then he played for another team, Betrus Balagra.
hey man, all respect to that dude. But yeah, champion.
Hey, 20 points. They went 28-8. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Blake had a better college record.
Hey, they ain't got no rings to show for it though.
I know that's gonna be a repeated theme, but yeah. So you wanna talk about the NBA?
Yeah, we can. Let's
Okay,
get
for
it.
sure. You go ahead first.
Um, career, 25 minutes a game, 13.3 points, 3.5 rebounds, 3.8 assists, two-time All-Star, 2008 Sixth Man of the Year. One of his highest points where he took Argentina to beat the USA in the USA Olympics, which one of the highest in basketball besides winning the championship, and won the gold medal, sent USA home.
For sure, for sure.
And
Now
then we beat them. I think he averaged like 20. Oh, he beat them 29 points.
he
He
definitely
dropped on their
balled.
head.
I would say that's his biggest accomplishment as a basketball player, leading Argentina to the gold medal. Um, but I wrote down a few things here. So career points. Blake Griffin has 14. No, Manu has 14,000. Blake has 14,013. Blake has 14,513. Assist, Manu has 4,001. Blake has 3,055. Rebounds, Manu has 3,697. Blake has 6,109. With these numbers accumulated, I also like to add on Manu played 3 extra seasons, but Blake has more points and more rebounds by a lot. And then Manu has he has him on assists by about 1,000, but Blake has him on rebounds by about 3,000 and has more points than him while missing a couple seasons with injury as well. Blake was a rookie of the year. Blake was a rookie of the year, a 6-time All-Star, more than 2, 5-time All NBA, and that includes All NBA second team 3 times and All NBA third team 2 times. I know Manu was All NBA twice, and they were both third team, so he had as many third team appearances as Manu had All NBA team appearances at all. Blake was also the Summer League MVP, won the Rookie of the Month, swept it every month as a rookie 6 times in a row. And I also like to highlight that Manu Ginobili played 300 more games than Blake Griffin, and he still got dwarfed in all these totals and stuff. I also
Yeah.
understand that Manu, he definitely did his thing with winning 4 championships, but unlike the Argentinian team and the Sabaro Dragons and all the other teams that he played for outside of the NBA, he was not leading those teams to the championship. He was, like you said, a 6th Man of the Year, which is a prestigious award for the first player who is off that pine, but he was off that pine for sure. And he was at his best when he was off that pine. He was not his best as a leading candidate to any of those championships in the NBA. When it came to the highest level, Blake Griffin was clearly playing at a higher level than Manu Ginobili. And I don't really see the argument for how he was.
With the time that Blake Griffin played, he played a total of career 32 minutes. Blake, Manu about 24, 25. Accumulate that out, Blake only averaged 4 to 5 more points than bench player. But if you literally give Manu that same kind of accumulated time, which in his highest best season that he played, still not averaging that kind of time of Blake's, averaged 19.5 points, 4.8 rebounds, and 4.5 assists, and won a championship that year. That's not riding the bench. That's not being a bus rider. That's contributing to a team and actually putting the highest level of everything on the line of winning a championship, not making the conference finals ever. Like literally made it. He was a bench rider, riding on the bench, riding with Tatum as young pups to a conference finals, even though they lost. I wish they would have won. But that would have been his first time even making the championship in his long later career of trying to get teams there and never making it.
Right. But that was at the end of his career post injuries.
But he never did it even at the beginning of his career.
He wasn't what?
He never even did it at the beginning of his career. He second round exit.
His players, the best player, him, Chris Paul always had an injury, or he was going through a lot of injury troubles as well during that time period. And at the same time, again, when I say bench rider, I don't mean he's constantly riding the pine. I mean that he wasn't the leading force to get them there. It's without question that in the pecking order for the Spurs that he was behind Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, Kawhi Leonard, and then he came into play right there. So at best, he was the fifth or fourth option on all of those teams. Then Blake Griffin,
but he won a championship before Kawhi came there, though.
Yeah, they did. They won the championship before Kawhi came there.
Yeah.
He still wasn't first, second.
But that was the year that he averaged 19 points.
Yeah, facing the second unit.
Blake NBA
Griffin,
players.
Right. I'm not saying he's sorry. I'm saying Blake is better. Like, Blake Griffin is facing.
Sure. I've never said that Blake wasn't better. I'm saying that Blake, with the same time, if he would have got that same kind of opportunity that Blake has, they would literally be the same player. Actually, he'd be better because he won championships.
I disagree with that. I don't think there's any evidence to show he would have been better.
Can you? I get that you disagree with it, but how can you when it's already shown? Literally won championships.
Hasn't been shown because he's never faced the kind of defensive attention that Blake has faced. He's never been faced with the kind of pressure to be a franchise player like Blake has been. He was a second pick, 57 overall or something like that. Blake was the number one pick. He's coming in with higher prestige. Like he didn't have the same. It's a reason he didn't have the same opportunities as Blake, and that's simply because he wasn't as good as Blake Griffin. Blake Griffin was put in those positions to lead his franchise because he had more potential, better talent, and a higher ceiling, what showed at the NBA level. Due to the fact, again, all the statistics show that we all watched the games. We all watched the games. There was never a time, again, Blake Griffin Manu is an awesome player. I think his stats outside of the NBA lead him to be a Hall of Famer because his accolades in the NBA, quite frankly, when you compare them to other Hall of Famers, two-time third team, two-time All-Star, six-man of the year, I didn't understand how he got into the Hall of Fame, to be quite frank with you, but I understand that he led Argentina to that gold medal, and that's what probably pushed them over the edge because those other teams, respectfully, when we talk about Luka, we're not bringing up the EuroLeague MVPs and all those things because we know that the competition is nowhere near on the NBA level, or really at the D1 level. But I digress.
But that's where people go and they're taking their career to now compared to going to college. Well, not with the NIL deals now, but now you can go to college and make money.
Yeah, they were doing it before too. Don't get it.
I know for sure.
So y'all get in the comments, right? And other platforms might make polls. Y'all get in the comments. Who y'all prefer, Manu or Blake? I even think Byron, I could have sworn I heard him about a minute and a half or something like that, say that Blake was a better player. But listen, y'all get in the comments. Y'all let us know Manu or Blake and tell us y'all thoughts on it. What is y'all reason behind this? Maybe there's something that we missed. Without that, we'll just, keep moving along because we can go about this a long time. We've been doing it already for a long time.
Most definitely.
I'm Team Blake, by the way.
Hey.
But next we're gonna get into we'll stay basketball. Kind of just talk about what's been happening in the playoffs, what's been going on with the playoffs. Now that we've been a couple games into the series and stuff. First, we can talk about Knicks 76ers series. Byron, if you want to start off with that.
Oh man, it was a wonderful game. Terrible shooting by Jalen Brunson. Really don't understand what's going on with him with these last two games. He's been shooting very terribly. Really not bringing his team to putting his team in the best position to win, but somehow they still falling out to win. I'll say that last call against Tyrese Maxey was very questionable amongst a timeout that was called by Nick Nurse, which is very questionable as well. Just at the end of the day, the next one, we got to move on. Hopefully, they can take it back to Philly. And like Embiid said, they're not losing the series, so hopefully they don't lose the series.
What about you, Brock?
You go ahead. We both been talking. How you feel about it?
Well, first off, let me pull something up real quick. I'm pretty sure everybody that watches our podcast knows I'm a Knicks fan. First off, feel like Jalen Brunson hasn't really been on top of his game. Like Byron said, Knicks are still finding a chance to win. That just shows the resiliency and how much of a big part that. I mean, Jalen Brunson is a big part of the Knicks, but how much more they have to give besides Brunson, because they stayed in that game with the 76ers. Josh Hart's, 6'5", grabbing 12, 13 rebounds. Isaiah Hartenstein doing what he does. DiVincenzo always stepping up big when we need him. Then you got OG Anunoby, who just does OG Anunoby things, plays defense, regardless of how he is on the offensive end. I don't really think it matters whether Sixers win a game at home or not. I don't see them winning the series. Like I said, if you have bad feelings about yesterday, you can cry about it.
Hard to go after that one. I think it's been a physical series, very throwback series. A series that I like to watch, quite frankly. Not that I like to watch struggle basketball, but I think it's been high level execution and getting stops when you need them. And both games have been close. So I agree with Chalil. I don't know if the 76ers have a chance to come back. I think it's showing like missing out on James Harden is showing in this series as far as the playmaking and at the end of games when you can allow him to orchestrate the offense. I like what the Knicks have been doing. Like y'all said, Jalen Brunson ain't been playing his best, but the other cast members have been lifting up the team enough to get them to win. And ultimately, that's a hallmark of Tom Thibodeau's team. So, yeah, I think it's a nice little series. I think the Knicks going to end up pulling it out, though.
Jalen Brunson going to heat up eventually.
Yeah, shooter's going to shoot.
I don't know about that. Get to the rack. Get to the rack.
But
I like what they're doing, though. Putting Joel Embiid in them situations to have to play defense, knowing he's not 100%. That's a big part of it, too.
They're bringing it
next,
for real.
We can go with the Boston Celtics versus Miami Heat. I'm pretty sure we all have the same opinion about this one. You want to start it off, Brock?
Yeah, I just want to say this real quick. We're not going to reveal who we think is going to win the championship. I'll just put that out there, but we can go series by series. So y'all make sure y'all watch all our videos because we will do second round previews and things of that nature when the time comes and our thoughts at the end of these first rounds. But Celtics and Heat are undermanned. I don't think they really had a shot if they had all their players, Jimmy and Terry Rozier. I think it would definitely been a closer series. Maybe we would have got 2 games off of them. Maybe they pushed it to a game 7 with the way these two go at it. These two teams, these two rivals. But they're undermanned, and I expect the Celtics to win every game from here on out. They just got too much talent, too much defense, and too much offense, and too much execution. Even though they've kind of thrown together this summer, they seem like they've been playing together for years already. So I'm gonna go with the Celtics to win this.
What about you, Bob?
Same. It's just like B said, like Brodrick said, man. It's just too much talent. Too much talent on the Boston side. Too much scoring. The boys shooting the 3 like it's no tomorrow. They're making as many threes as the Heat are attempting, which is crazy. And without Jimmy Butler as their dog to at least elevate the team to play out of their body and have those out of body games, it's just going to be a foregone conclusion. Celtics going to win it and just move on to the next round.
I got the Celtics winning as well. I don't think the Heat really stood a chance, even if Jimmy Butler was playing. I feel like obviously their chances would have been better. But just without Jimmy Butler out there on the floor, you can see that the Heat really lack like that killer instinct, that go get it instinct, try to dig deep. And it's really showing. I don't think you can really count on Tyler Hero to give you big games constantly like you're going to need from him to even have a chance. And I just don't think they ultimately have enough firepower to match up with the Celtics.
He would have to average, I thought 40 plus, but he going to have to average at least 35 plus for them to have an opportunity. And that's with Bam chipping in 25 plus for them to have a chance. And I don't see, especially when they get all the defensive attention. And losing Jimmy, it's not just about the point production, it's also about the playmaking. He turns into an awesome playmaker in the playoffs. They're missing him and Rozier. Spo, again, in my opinion, is the best coach in the league, but I just don't see how they can win another game and win a game in this series with what they're up against.
Yeah, definitely going to need like 15 from either Jaquez or Martin, too, every game. Either one of them to go along with Bam and Hero.
Yeah, you're going to need Hero to go crazy.
All right, next Eastern Conference matchup, we got the Bucks and the Pacers. How we feeling about that one, Byron?
Bucks Pacers, man. The Pacers are depleted on defense, man. They have no defensive scheme, no defensive plan. They couldn't stop a Cole, man. I don't understand what Halliburton's really doing as well. He's the pace, the push, the driver of the team to get them up and down the court to even try to make it a game against a Giannis-less Bucks, because he's not even playing in this series. I don't even think he's going to be coming back. I think they're going to try to force Dame to win this series by himself, get his confidence back, one, and to get in that flow of once Giannis does come back, being able to play off of him a lot better. And the Bucks are just going to win this thing.
What about you, bro?
Honestly, I agree with everything Byron said. I do think Indiana's gonna win in this series, not the series, but I do think they're gonna get at least one game off the Bucks, maybe even two games, just because their offense is so potent and explosive. And I think Rick Carlisle is a great coach. I believe he won a championship with Dallas that year with Dirk. He's a championship level coach. I do think they're gonna figure some things out enough to at least get a win out of this series, but I don't think they got a chance to win. They just don't have enough overall talent, and their defense isn't anything for real. But and the Bucks, they have championship personnel. They still got Brook Lopez, Chris Middleton. Dame is a high level player, even though his playoff success isn't that great. They still got Bobby Portis, another NBA champion. I've seen Bobby Portis play live. People don't understand like how talented of an NBA player he is. He's a nice fill-in for Giannis, and I think the Bucks are going to pull out this series, but I think it's going to be a fun series to watch overall.
I think it's going to be a pretty exciting series, like you said. Pacers are the team that can just pop off and put up 150 points in any given game. I know, what was it, last game, Damian Lillard went off in the first half. I'm trying to pull stuff up. My phone doesn't want to load up, or my other phone. But just while I'm waiting for it, do you guys want to know the score for the game going on right now, or what?
Yeah, go ahead.
I can give it to you guys. Last time I checked, it was 69-72. Pacers were up. I don't think Damian Lillard can keep up the scoring that he's been doing the past two games, because he's went off. He was going off when I last seen this game. I don't think they get Giannis back. I think the series is going to be a lot closer than what people may think. And I honestly have the Pacers winning the series in 6 or 7 games. I feel like if they can get hot and get in that groove to where Halliburton was playing like he was pre-All-Star break, Bucks already shown that they don't have an answer for Pascal Siakam. And ultimately, the Pacers, I believe, are going to play through him. You get the contributions you need from Miles Turner. I can see them pulling the series out.
Man, we need Chris Middleton, who's supposed to be the third star, who's making star money for a second, third guy to step up. Because if he was scoring amongst the same clip Damian Lillard was, I feel like the series would still not be a series, because then he can put the ball in the hole. He can score 24, 25 points per game. Easy. But he's acting like he's still hurt. And that's the crazy thing. And you got paid. What else do you need? You got the one championship. He said, I'm done.
He might be. I mean, now he is facing that second star defensive tension, though. You know, with Giannis, it take the whole team to guard like a talent like Giannis. Like, you know, I seen Giannis play one time in real life too, and that dude,
a problem.
He's incredible. Like, when they say it looks like he's dunking everything on TV, like in the arena when he dunks, and like crowd going, this is an away arena, the crowd going, well, not they cheering too. I'm like, hey, like,
yeah.
So, yeah, but yeah.
Watching play versus Jokic. It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was a good game, man. His man is just dominant. But like you said, it takes a whole team, at least 2-3 guys. You're gonna have 2 guys on him. One guy definitely watching. The third guy, he gonna be there just to blitz.
Yeah.
And if you are watching and you go, you're gonna have to stop it. But that should show you, hey, I got one guy guarding me, possibly a helper. Score. Put the ball in the hoop, man. That's what you get paid for, man.
I mean,
now you got Dame.
Game 1, Middleton had 23, 10 rebounds, 4 assists.
That's what I'm saying. Now he need that tonight. Like how many he has tonight?
I don't think he's going to be able to produce that every night, which ultimately means Dame's going to face more double teams and more attention. That's why I just can't see Dame, going off like he is right now.
Yeah, Middleton's going to be the key for them to really make a splash, and at least like I said, we ain't picking who winning, but at least make the conference final.
Yeah, like Dame right now got 29, Brook Lopez 15, Middleton got 8.
Let me ask y'all this:
how Brook Lopez got more than him? That's crazy.
Who y'all think is the best player in this series?
In the series,
Dame should be.
It should be Dame. Pascal Siakam's right up there with him.
He dropped 30-something too, didn't he?
He had 36 and like 14. Right now he's at 25, 8 and 4.
That's crazy.
So it's definitely between
Pascal can score the rock.
It's definitely between those two. But there's no big on the Bucks that's going to be able to stop him, which I think plays a big factor in getting everybody else involved with the Pacers.
Yeah.
But they need Halliburton. They need Halliburton to step up as well. I don't know if that's going to happen.
Yeah, that's the push the pace right there. That's how they won a lot of their games, like pushing the pace, getting up and down, getting 10, 12, 13 assists, 18 points. He'll win every game. But
next playoff matchup, right? Let me just load it back up. My phone was tripping. Cavaliers Magic. How we feeling about that one, bro?
And being the Magic, the closest arena to my city, and Duval, I got to watch a couple Magic games this year. They're impressive. Good defensive team. Obviously, they got Paulo in the front. I don't think they stand a chance in the series. There's just not enough scoring on that side. I do think that the Cavs are going to pull it out. Donovan has, been a star already in the playoffs, especially, going back to that memorable performance against the Nuggets in the bubble. So I got the Cavs winning this. They got Garland, Mobley, Jared Allen, and I think they got a solid bench with Karis LeVert, one of the best 6 men in the NBA, coming in. Shooters around them. The Cavs are going to be a dangerous team in this playoffs. Didn't have the regular season I think they expected to have, but I think that's because of injuries. But again, I watched a lot of Magic games live in, on TV. I think they're, a player, maybe 2 players away, but it's good that they're going to get this playoff seasoning. So ultimately, as the years go on, they can go deeper and deeper, and ultimately, challenge more veteran teams like the Bucks and the Celtics and the Cavs.
For sure. What about you, Byron?
Yeah, like Brodrick said, the Orlando Magic, they just are not constructed as a playoff team. They're a really great regular season team. They play electric, move the ball, got young talent all over the floor. It's just how they're constructed. It's not just meant for the playoffs. They're going to fight tooth and nail to try to win at least one of these games, but I don't see them winning the series. The talent on the Cavs side with Donovan Mitchell already as an established seasoned player, which he can score the clip like no other. And then the young defensive talent in Moley and all those other guys is just going to be too much for Orlando Magic. And they're going to have to do some moving around to make Paulo more comfortable with the team and just to make him elevate a lot more with the talent that he is and being a ex number one player. It's just I don't think Orlando Magic gonna beat the Cavs in this series.
Sure, I got the Cavs taking it. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Magic won a game or two.
Yeah.
I feel like you said, it definitely has to do a lot with the Cavs being here before. They have the roster pretty much to try to make that deep run. They have the defensive anchors with Mobley and Allen in the back. They have their superstar in Donovan Mitchell, who's ready and able to make those big plays, have those big games. Great facilitator, and Darius Garland, who can also score the rock as well. And a good 3-and-D wing they have in Max Strus. They have the good bench core with Niang, who stepped it up a lot this season, and LeVert, like Brock said, one of the best 6 men probably in the league right now, who can dish it out and score good as well. And the Magic haven't scored over 90 points in the first 2 games. That goes to show how teams are going to be able to key in on them. Without Paolo and Franz, there's really no scoring coming from the Magic right now on a consistent basis. And
facilitators.
Yeah, so I really just don't see the Magic pulling the series out. Like you guys said, I feel they just need to add a couple more pieces to get there.
Zach. Hey, Zach. Hey, trade for my boy Zach LaVine, man. I wouldn't mind going to see Zach when I can.
We got the Thunder and the Pelicans. How we feeling about that series?
Really great game. Youth all over the court. You got youth in Shea, MVP talk, Chet, Giddy. Then on the other side, you got somewhat more seasoned guys like Bi, CJ, all those guys over there. They're without Zion, unfortunately. Hopefully get healthy. Need to see you in a series like this, man. Just to see your talent. Shea is just on another level right now. He's taking it to them, getting wherever he wants in the paint, getting all the shots getting any shot that he wants, and then when they do bring that second guy over the trap, he's dishing it very well. They're a young team that moves the ball, which is very dangerous because a lot of other younger teams that we've seen, like the Spurs in the beginning of the season, ball stopping. A lot of great talent not being able to move the ball, but they are, and they're working together. I think they're going to be a little too much for them in the end. And I think it'll be a close game, but I'll probably say they're winning 6.
How about you feeling, Brock?
I love the first game, how it played out. A lot of young talent going against each other. Maybe not star level players, but I think they could be star level role players. And Trey Murphy and Herb Jones, especially on the defensive end with both of those guys. And Trey Murphy is one of the best 3-point shooters in the league. Bi has to step up. I like some of what I've seen as far as aggressiveness. This first game, I think it was went down to the wire. I think the Thunder won by 2 points by a basket. I think that's how the series is going to play out. Honestly, if not Giannis, my bad. He plays like Giannis, but if Zion was playing, then I would have picked the Pelicans to upset the Bucks, upset the Thunder. And I think it's going to be a close series, but I think that OKC is going to pull it out in 5 to 6 games. But I think it's going to be a close outcome every single game. And I think it's when you're talking about the first round series, it's the series to watch for, the casual NBA fan if you're trying to see like how basketball should be played, in my opinion, because they both have great coaching staffs, great benches with great rotations. And even though Shea is in that MVP category, there's not like these megalodon super teams. Like these, you're going to have to win with execution, coaching, in your rotation. So, yeah. I think it's going to be a good series.
For sure. Feel like this is like probably going to be the best, most tight-knit competitive series there is. I feel like if you're a Pelicans fan going into the play-in, this is kind of the team that you wanted to face opposed to the Nuggets. Between Chet Holmgren, Jalen Williams, Shea, there's a lot of star power for the Thunder, a lot of young star power. And then, you have the veterans of the veteran presence of Valanciunas, Ingram, and McCollum for the Pelicans to kind of try to overpower that. So I do like the way the series is matching up. It was kind of like both teams were throwing haymakers in the first game. Nobody could really take control of the game. I feel like that's how it's going to be for most of the series. Look for Brandon Ingram to kind of step it up more. He shot 5 of 17. Don't think that's going to happen too many more times throughout the playoffs. But then again, you had Chet Holmgren and Jalen Williams making big plays like they've been making all year. They both had phenomenal games. Chet with 15 points, 11 rebounds. Jalen Williams, 19.7 rebounds to go along with Shea's 28, which we know what he's capable of when he's on. And CJ McCollum had a decent game, I guess you can say, 20 points, shot 9 of 22 from the field. But I definitely like the way the series is trending.
And that shooting
I think the Thunder wind up pulling it out.
How many games?
And this,
I would say Thunder win the series 4-2.
Okay, so in 6.
Yeah.
This is gonna be a playoff. This has been a playoff, really, of youth, if we think about it. Because like
there's been a lot of blowouts.
If LeBron goes out, you got that's one of the older guys out. Jimmy's definitely going out. That's another older guy out. Dame might last, and then you got the Clippers that might last. Those might be the 2 oldest like teams, quote unquote, and everybody else is youth. So this has been a really great transition playoffs right here for like some of the older guys because Curry already out. And like, pretty much all the guys are over, I'd say 30, 31, 32 years old, or like the older seasoned veterans. And so it's going to be something pretty good to see like the youth in this opportunity of playoff basketball.
I literally made that exact argument yesterday with somebody that it's definitely that transition of the guard playoffs. Like that definitely transition of the guards, which I'm here for. Because I saw a stat yesterday, no team in the West, there were only 4 teams in the West that were below 500. So you're going to have to be at least 500 going forward to even have a chance to make the play-in tournament. So a lot of talent out there, including Victor Wembanyama. You know what I'm saying? I think the Spurs got the most cap space in the league this year, and I think players are going to want to go play with him, along with the Rockets. They're going to be another big market, huge city, young talent, cap space. They're going to be able to get somebody in. So the Kings didn't make it, the Warriors didn't make it, and you know the Warriors are always dangerous. The Kings, yeah, hey, they the Kings, but they might make some moves. You never know. They were number 3 seed last year. So John Morant is going to be healthy next year. By all praise due to the Most High, he's going to make it through the season without an incident. So the West is brutal.
Yeah, it's
What
gonna be
you
tough.
say? What
It's
y'all
very
say?
tough.
I'm fine in the West.
Fine in the West.
I don't know about that, man. The
They
West is the gauntlet, bro.
got
It's been like
smacked.
that for like the past 3-4 years. It's tough coming out of there. Next up, we got the Nuggets and the Lakers. Brock, I kind of want you to start out with this one since King James is your guy. I just want to know your feelings on how just feelings on game 2 all around.
Game 2, heartbreak.
Yeah.
I sent in the group chat an emoji with the face palm.
Yeah, I was just about to say
that was directly after he hit the shot. So I was watching it, man. You know, yesterday was my birthday. This man didn't wet the game winner, the Kobe on the Lakers. Very disrespectful. I stayed up late, get heartbroken like that. I didn't appreciate that, Jamal Murray. But that boy be balling. Him and Jokic, unstoppable duo, probably the best 1-2 in the NBA. I'm not even sure that's debatable at this point. I just think the Nuggets are better coached, got more talent, and a better rotation than the Lakers. And like we just said, changing of the guard playoffs, man, I really hate it. But it just seems like LeBron has got to that point where I feel like all-stars get to when it's like, even if I play great, my impact on the game isn't going to result into these overwhelming wins. And unfortunately, man, I see that happening before my eyes, man. It's sad to see, but you know, I think the Nuggets are going to pull off another sweep, man. I hate to say it, man, but yeah.
Did Austin Reeves have a decent game, a good game, or was he just blah again?
No, 12 points. 12, 13
I know
points.
D'Angelo Russell had a pretty good game.
A record-breaking game.
If D'Angelo and Austin Reeves can get like 15, 18 points a game on top of LeBron and Anthony Davis's numbers that they're putting up, the Lakers have a chance. But
AD
like
dropped
I said,
30-something.
it's tough. You just don't know what to expect from D'Lo and Austin Reeves night in, night out. At one point, I think D'Lo was like the hottest player in the NBA. And he's cooled down quite a bit from there. He had a decent game. The Lakers showed with this game that they can hang with the Nuggets. They had the 20-point lead, which unfortunately they let slip away. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Lakers were able to squeak out 1 or 2 wins. But I ultimately have the Nuggets taking this. I mean, like Brock said, they got the best 2-man game off the court. The Jokic brothers got the best 2-man games off the court.
Yeah, man. It was just the Lakers. I don't know what they can do, man. Even it showed the last playoff series that they had before this one previously. LeBron AD dropping 30 points, 20-some points, 14 rebounds. They're doing everything possible that they can do to try to win this game and still falling short. I'm really watching this game, witnessing the Lakers be up 20 points going in like at mid-third quarter, and it's like they had no fear, no sweat in their eyes that were down 20. I see them strap on their boots, put that helmet on, and start working. I see first quarter, I think Jokic had a double-double of 10-10. He didn't score again until that point where they were up 20 and he started really putting in that work and fighting to get all the way back. Murray hit an unbelievable shot. It was up to the point where LeBron, I believe it was maybe 14 seconds left on the clock. LeBron made probably a very questionable decision. He drove the ball. I believe KCP was guarding him, and he fell. Now, this is probably the best look that the Lakers probably would have gotten, but he shouldn't have not. I believe he shouldn't have not shot that shot or waited a little longer, because if he would have shot the shot, it would have put him within 4 to 5 second range left. If the Denver would have gotten that rebound to shoot the rock compared to the time that they had after he shot that three and bricked it. LeBron was shooting great because I believe he laced the last three previous to that one coming down the court. He laced it. Wonderful. Come down again. I believe he had no intentions of shooting that ball at all. I believe that in his mind. He was going to milk that clock down, wait to the end, shoot the rock, make or miss, y'all still up, go into overtime. Shot the rock, KCP fell, shot it up, bricked it. Hey, the rest is history. That boy said he ain't even see the shot leave his hand. He just seen that, he heard the crowd, won.
I think he should have passed it because when KCP fell, he kind of gathered him. He couldn't dribble him. I think he should have passed it, got it back, and then attacked the basket, got to the free throw line. But, I can't tell
He
LeBron.
still should have attacked the basket right then and there. As he fell, pat, like you said, give and go real quick, right to the back. Because KCP continuously laid there. He sat on the ground while he was shooting the ball. If he would have gave it up to, I believe it was Reeves over there, he would have gave it right back to you, right to the rim.
I think LeBron had 14 in the fourth quarter too, so he was definitely balling in the fourth. But it wasn't. I ain't gonna lie, man. I hate to say it, but I've been saying it. I've been saying it in previous episodes. Man, AD was down there getting abused by Jokic. He was down there getting put inside the basketball goal, getting hit with post moves, spin moves. Brother was looking like Shaq out there, for real, for real.
It started with Hachimura.
Yeah. So what you saying?
It started with him. It started with Hachimura. Because AD was playing really great in the beginning, but he got tired. Obviously, he was putting in that work. He was giving them that work first and second quarter. AD, they were not stopping him. I'm talking about over the left, over the right, pull up midi, wherever you want. He was giving it to him, and then he got tired. Obviously. Went to the bench. Hachimura comes in, and Jokic just said, "Nah, bro, you ain't on my level at all." I'm talking about spent back around, hit him with the punt fake up and under, I was doing crazy work moves, only seen the King Olajuwon doing, and he was really giving them the business. That man is the best player in the league, hands down.
Laid back assassin, bro.
Yeah, with a straight face, he wasn't even trying.
I don't think there's any big in the league that can stop him, if we're being honest.
He's crazy.
Any player.
Especially, yeah.
The only person that can come close is probably Embiid at his healthiest.
Yeah.
I don't know. Embiid be ducking the smoke.
Real talk. Real talk. I
don't know why.
I like to see how he does against, even though they won both their matchup, how he does against Porzingis and Bam maybe. It's gonna have to be somebody who has that mobility as well as the strength. I'm not sure. And like I said, there's nobody
they ain't gonna be able to stop
him, but it's gonna be tough. And there's a reason they're the reigning champions. But yeah, we can go to the next series.
Hold on, one more thing real quick. Make Jamal Murray an all-star, man. Y'all gotta stop playing. Stop playing. Put some respect on that man's name, bro. Stop playing with Jamal Murray. That man is the playoff these last 3-4 years. Come on, bro. Y'all gotta stop. Put some respect on this man's name.
Mr. Big Time. Next one we got a little update on the series. Series is now 2-0 in favor of the Timberwolves, but it's the Timberwolves and Suns. How we feeling about that series there?
You go, babe.
I'm mad I ain't been able to watch either one of these games. Just a little bit of the first game. But from highlights and everything I've seen, Anthony Edwards continuing his star ascension. Timberwolves is my favorite NBA team. He's been the best player on the same court as Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, Karl Towns, Rudy Gobert. He is, in my opinion, going to be there with Victor Wembanyama battling for the face of the NBA and Luka as well, and Joker. But I think he's approaching those levels. He has the talent. And if they end up smoking the Suns like they are now, It's going to be hard to deny him as a top 10 player in the league coming into next season. But just speaking on this series, man, I thought KD and the Suns, they would be a problem in the playoffs, and they very much could figure things out once they get home. They are a veteran team, but it's not looking good. If once you go down 2-0, I think you lose 75-80% of the time. It's not looking good, but I'm not going to give up on KD them. I think they could come back and win 2 games, maybe even make it to a game 7, maybe even pull it out. And this is speaking from a fan of the Timberwolves. So I think it's a great series, and yeah.
Now, I'm a big fan of this Suns team. I really don't have a preferable team in the NBA. Carmelo Anthony, shout out to you and what you're doing in your podcast as well. But I'm a good big fan of KD as well. Like, I like his game as well. So I really would like them to bring more towards the defensive end. They really don't have no defensive stoppers on their roster. All scoring. Once you get down into their nitty gritty of their roster, they don't really have that talent amongst the players that the Timberwolves have. And like Brodrick was saying, Anthony Edwards has been the star amongst stars in this series, dropping 30 points a game. Just can't deny him as being, like you said, top 10 talent amongst already established stars in Bradley Beal, Devin Booker. You got guys that dropping 70, 60 points a game type players, and he's right there with them. It's going to be a very, very ball out series, I believe. I believe, like Brodrick said, they're going to figure it out when they get home, fight back, and try to figure out somewhat way if they even got to just throw it into a zone. I know the T-Wolves, they're really good at shooting the three, but if you can find a way to defend it and make them shoot a lot more and let them just olay all the way up into the rim a lot of the time, because they're really not stopping Anthony Edwards from getting any kind of shot that he wants, dishing it to, players like Slow-Mo, giving it to Cat now that he's back. Hopefully he plays pretty well as well. I just can see it going to probably 7, and I want the Suns to still win it.
Yeah.
Right. I definitely see this series being series of home court advantage. So I pretty much see Phoenix taking the next 2 at home, go back to the Timberwolves, go back to Minnesota. Minnesota takes that one. I feel like it's going to come down to game 7 with Minnesota being at home. I think they pull out the victory. Just going off of, I was looking at some stats for tonight. Nobody really had a good game tonight besides Jaden McDaniels, who really stepped up for the Timberwolves. He was the leading scorer of all game, 25 points. Anthony Edwards had 15 on 3 of 12 shooting. Kevin Durant, 6 of 15 shooting for 18 points. Devin Booker, 6 of 13 for 20. Bradley Beal, 6 of 17 for 14. And I just think that goes to show kind of the grinded out defense getting played on all the star players throughout the game. Just kind of the intensity of, some players kind of stepping up their defense, to kind of try to help their team out. I definitely feel like the Timberwolves defense is the best defense in the league, but I also feel like you can't keep Kevin Durant and Devin Booker contained for so long, and I feel like they're going to figure it out come next game. And I definitely, like I said, this is going to be a tight series that I ultimately see coming down to a game 7, and the Timberwolves pulling it out. Next one, which is this the last series so far? Yep. The Mavericks and the Clippers.
Real quick. I do got to go do some. So I'm going to speak on the Mavericks and Clippers, and then these brothers are going to talk about their mock drafts and get their last 4 picks. I'll do like a separate, like little 1 minute short and add it to this. But yeah, then I'm gonna be out, and they're gonna finish what they're gonna talk about. So, real quick, I can do mine on the Mavericks and Clippers. To me, this is the most exciting playoff series of the first round, in my opinion. So much star players on both sides. I wish Kawhi was able to play, but the fact that he isn't able to play, it to me adds even more intrigue because now it's not like, 4 stars versus 2. It's 3 versus 2, and it evens out the scale. Even though the Clippers dominate the Mavericks first game, I do think the Mavericks are going to come back the second game and get a win. I do think this is another 7-game series. It's very hard to pick who's going to win this one.
Real quick, before you pick, Kawhi is back. Just so you can put that into your decision.
Okay,
he's playing tonight. He's playing right
tonight.
now.
Oh, well, in that case, I got the I got the Clippers regardless, but I got them now that I know Kawhi is back. He probably not 100%, but I got the Clippers, and I'm gonna say I got the Clippers in 6 games. Yeah, I got the Clippers in 6 games. And with that, I'm gonna let them talk. I'm gonna mute my stuff and turn the camera off. Appreciate y'all.
Have a good night. Have a good night.
Be safe, bro. Have a good one.
So, between Dallas and Clippers, you want to go? Go ahead.
Yeah, Dallas Clippers game. Dallas and Clippers, like you said, man, the stars everywhere. You got James Harden getting the show on his proven year, what he really can do. He's still one of the top scorers in this league. He can put the ball in the hoop when he's asked to, but on this specific team that he's on now, he's asked to play make, and he's doing a wonderful job of that. It's going to be very difficult for the other opposite side and Luka and Kyrie, which they are learning how to really facilitate the game, but they're more focused on getting their shot up, which they are the best in the league at doing. It's just going to be a well fought series, I believe. But like you said, now with Kawhi coming back, it's going to be pretty hard for them boys to get some games up. I'll say they win maybe 1, 2. And I got the Clippers winning this thing, man.
Yep.
Especially if Kawhi stays healthy.
Yeah. Pretty much going off of what you guys said. I don't think people remember what James Harden was in this league a few years ago. Just he was on a tear. Teams would not want to play him. And I don't think they really are understanding the type of role that he's taking with this team. He's not there to be the primary scorer. He's there to set up his teammates, and, pretty much make sure everybody's getting the shots they need, taking good shots. And I think you saw a glimpse of that last game where he went off, and that's more because he needed to, which is always good for the Clippers to have. If they need Harden to step up, he's going to step up. Same thing with Westbrook. Though he's not as explosive and dynamic as he once was, still a big piece to the Clippers. So he's playing. You got Kawhi and Paul George with their star power. They do what they do every night in, night out. And then you got Kyrie and Luka, which there really is no stopping either of those. They're true scorers, two beautiful different scoring methods. But I ultimately have the Clippers taking this one in about 6 games. I think they win the series 4-2. I feel like, especially with a healthy Kawhi, the Clippers are just going to be too much for the Mavericks to handle defensively, and that's ultimately going to be their downfall.
Most definitely.
The next with the mock draft.
Get it.
So we are on pick 29, which is the Lions.
Pick 29, the Lions. I got the Lions picking Chop Robinson in this position. He's a defensive end, junior out of Penn State. Fast. He runs a 4.8 40 for his size. Big fella. He gets to the ball. That's what they need off that edge rushing. Opposite side of how do you pronounce his name? Hutchinson. Hutchinson. There you go. Opposite side of him to give him some help, take a little pressure off of his side, so they can have both edge rushers and elevate where they already got to last year in the playoffs.
I got them taking an edge as well. Instead of Chop Robinson, I have them taking Darius Robinson. Um, he'll be a force, coming right in. Take away some of that pressure and double teams that Aiden Hutchinson might be facing come this year. As he's a lot to deal with in himself. And he plays that Dan Campbell type of football with his intensity, which really, kind of helped the teammates up their intensity. He's a gritty type of player, and he's always playing like he's on fire. So I have the Lions selecting him 29th pick. Pick 30, which is the Ravens. I can go first. I feel like they got pretty good combination of everything they need on the team, opposed to they probably need a receiver and an offensive tackle. I have them taking Tyler Guyton. He's an offensive tackle. It's nice, good upside, very athletic. He can play both tackle positions on the edge of that O-line. And I feel like with Derrick Henry coming over to the Ravens, I feel like they're going to become more of a run and gun type of team than they already were. Between just the RPO action with Lamar and Derrick Henry, I feel like he could be a good fit running those plays with them.
Okay. A lot of the defensive secondary was highly rotated last year. Gotta get a lot more established positions besides Humphreys on that other side to lock down that defensive establishment already. Baltimore is already known for their defense, so if they can really pick up a guy here, which I would think they would pick up Cooper DeJean, nice cornerback out of Iowa. He's 41 tackles, 2 pass deflections, 2 tackles for losses, 2 picks, and 5 pass deflections on the season last year. Iowa is a pretty good defense as of late these last few years. Be a nice pickup, pretty good size, and will be a nice pickup for opposite side of Marlon Humphreys for their defense to become even more dominant.
Sure. Number 31, we got Super Bowl runner-ups, 49ers.
How do you say his name? Jar Zahin Newton, a defensive tackle out of a senior defensive tackle out of Illinois. He's just a monster defensive run stopper. Another monster that they can add on to that defensive line in the 49ers, who's already, I don't know any team that say, hey, I want to play the 49ers. I want to go against their defense, especially against that defensive line, which is super talented, overzealous, and they're trying to get sacks after sack after sack. Every year they're recouping on who they're getting in that line. They lose a guy in Ken Law coming over to the Jets, and then boom, replacing another guy, getting young over and over and over, and getting those pass rushes, those speed rushers to just stop the run one and get after the quarterback to disrupt their passing time. And Newton will be a great asset to that.
I have them going on the defensive end as well. I have a little bit something different. I feel like they struggled at DB depth last year. That was kind of one of their big holes. So I've been picking up a cornerback, Ennis Rakestraw Jr. He gives them that much needed depth that they're going to be needing at DB. He has length and a good stop ability to where he's going to be able to make plays and stick with the receivers. He's also smooth and agile with good ball or on ball instincts. So I definitely feel like he can come right in and make a difference and kind of be one of those dependable guys that the 49ers will need on defense. Pretty much locking it down on the outside while their pass rushers disrupt the quarterback and everything like that. Number 32, we have the Chiefs. I'll go have them picking up a wide receiver and Xavier Legette. He ran a 4.39 40. He's 6'1", 220 pounds. So he has that combination of speed and power that I think the Chiefs can really use. And maybe he can finally be their wide receiver one that they've been looking for since Tyreek Hill left. And he's very good at tracking the ball, great at high pointing the ball, and just his big playability is through the roof as he can break tackles, make guys miss in the open field. And I feel like he can be a big or I feel like with the help of Patrick Mahomes, he can be an elite receiver in this league.
Most definitely. I got the Chiefs picking up offensive weapon as well. They definitely need receivers, with them being the most drop passes in the league last year. I seen that Rashid Rice did kind of step up and wants to prove that he can be that number one guy, and I think that he can actually do it. So, opposite guy of him that I think they should pick up, who's already kind of proven in college to be a wonderful number two next to Xavier Worthy, and Adonai Mitchell, receiver out of Texas, junior. Wonderful, wonderful speed on him. I believe he ran about a 4.8 40. Wonderful blazing speed, great hands, really good change of direction guy. He's one of those guys you just want to get the ball in their hands right away and just let them make a play. And the Patrick Mahomes loved those kind of guys. He had Tyreek Hill. You got Rice, who's now that new guy in for you. You got your Kelseys, who's getting older. You get that young guy in Adonis Mitchell coming in off that young talent already, making him another run at a Super Bowl with more wide receiver talent compared to what we had last year, especially with them having to struggle against Kadarius Toney back and forth and all the things that you got to deal with him.
Trash.
Yeah.
Nice
Yeah.
way to put it.
Hey,
And you don't even know
win
what's
his
gonna
Super Bowl, now you can go